What is life? Is it just breathing or something more? Every day we run, we chase, we struggle, but have you ever stopped and asked yourself, are you truly living or just passing time? Life is a mystery, and maybe you haven't discovered its real meaning yet. We all wake up every morning, but not everyone wakes up with purpose. Some of us feel empty, some feel lost, and some are carrying wounds that nobody sees. We smile outside, but inside we are fighting battles. Confusion, loneliness, disappointment, broken dreams. Life feels heavy, and sometimes we even ask ourselves, what is the point of all this? But maybe the problem isn't life itself. Maybe the problem is that we never truly learned what life really is. Point once in life is not just survival. You know what I've realized? Most people aren't really living, they're just surviving. They wake up in the morning, rush to work, eat whatever they find, scroll on their phones, watch something, and then fall asleep. And tomorrow, the same thing again. Like robots, just repeating the cycle. Breathing, but not alive. Yeah, it's like life has become a checklist. Wake up, earn money, pay bills, sleep. And in the middle of all this noise, they forget to ask the most important question. Am I truly living or just passing time? Exactly. Think about it. When was the last time you felt your heart beating with excitement? When was the last time you saw the sunrise and actually paused to feel it? When was the last time you laughed so hard your soul felt lighter? That's what life is supposed to be. But survival has killed living. We exist, but we don't experience. And the saddest part, years pass by like this. One day you wake up with gray hair, weak bones, and you wonder, did I really live or did I just endure? That regret, it's heavier than death itself. So maybe the real problem is not life itself, the problem is the way we live it. We confuse survival with life. Survival is eating, working, sleeping. But life is about meaning, about discovering, about feeling every breath as a gift. Until we learn that difference, we'll keep mistaking existence for living. True life is a journey, not a destination. You ever notice how everyone is just waiting? Waiting to be happy, waiting to feel free, waiting for the right moment. They think once I get that job, once I buy that house, once I achieve this dream, then I'll finally live. But that moment never really comes. Yeah. It's like we're all standing at a train station, staring down the tracks, waiting for a train called happiness to arrive. And while we're waiting, life keeps passing by. The people, the moments, the laughter, it all just slips away while we're too focused on the destination. Exactly. Look at children, for example. They don't care about tomorrow. They don't wait for a perfect day. They live in the now, laughing, playing, feeling everything. But as we grow up, we stop living the journey and start obsessing over the finish line. We sacrifice today for a tomorrow that may never even come. And you know what's the scariest part? When we finally reach that so-called destination, money, status, whatever we were chasing, we realize it doesn't even feel the way we thought it would. Joy was never in arriving. It was always in the steps we were too blind to enjoy. Yeah, like the road trips we used to take as kids. Remember, we'd be so excited, singing songs, stopping for snacks, laughing the whole way. Fun wasn't in reaching the city, it was in the journey itself. But now as adults, we've forgotten that simple truth. We keep running, and we miss the beauty of walking. 3A. Growth through struggle. You know what I've realized? The days that break us are actually the days that make us. What do you mean? Think about it. Every time life knocked you down, every time you felt like you couldn't go on, somehow you came out stronger. The pain, the failures, the heartbreaks, those weren't punishments, they were lessons. Like life was training you for the person you're meant to become. Yeah, I remember when I lost everything I thought I needed. Back then it felt like the end of the world. I couldn't breathe, couldn't sleep, couldn't see any hope. But today, when I look back, I realize that moment shaped me. It forced me to grow, to build strength I didn't even know I had. Exactly. It's like how a seed has to break before it becomes a tree. or how gold has to go through fire before it shines. Struggle feels cruel in the moment, but without it, we'd remain weak, unprepared, fragile. But why does it hurt so much then? Why does it feel like life is against us when we're going through it? Because in the moment, we can only see the pain, not the purpose. It's only later, sometimes years later, that we understand why it had to happen. You see, life never wastes pain. Every tear, every scar, every sleepless night, it's all molding us, preparing us for something bigger. Him, so maybe the very things we're running from. The failures, the heartbreaks, the losses, those are actually the things that are building us. Without them, we'd never grow. For in life is connection. You know what I think hurts people the most today? Not failure, it's not even poverty, it's loneliness. Yeah, loneliness is like a silent disease. You can be surrounded by hundreds of people, chatting, laughing, posting online, and still feel completely alone inside. Exactly. Because life was never meant to be lived in isolation. We're built for connection. Real connection. The kind where someone looks at you and actually sees your soul. But nowadays, everyone is so busy pretending, showing off, competing. Nobody is truly connecting. You're right. I remember the days when conversations were real. Sitting together, sharing food, sharing stories. No rush, no phones between us. Now it's all just small talk, quick texts, fake smiles for photos. But deep inside, everyone's starving for one genuine hug, one person who truly listens. And that's why so many people feel empty, even after achieving success. You can have money, fame, luxury, but if you have no one to share it with, it feels like dust. The laughter is louder when it's shared. The pain is lighter when it's carried together. That's what makes life real, human bonds. Yeah, like remember that one night we sat on the rooftop, talking for hours about everything and nothing. No fancy place, no expensive stuff, just us and the sky. Yeah, that memory feels richer than any luxury vacation. Because connection is what gives meaning. Without it, life feels hollow, like a song without music. Maybe that's why people are so restless today. They don't need more followers, they need real friends. They don't need more likes, they need love. That's the difference between existing and truly living. 5 life is impermanence. You ever notice how fragile everything is? One moment you have it, the next moment it's gone. Like what? Everything. Money, health, relationships, even people. We walk around thinking life will always stay the same, but it doesn't. Nothing is permanent. Not the pain, not the joy, not even the people we think will stay forever. Yeah, I felt that when I lost someone close. I thought they'd always be around. I never imagined life without them. And then suddenly, in just one phone call, everything changed. That day I realized how temporary everything really is. Exactly. We keep postponing happiness. I'll spend more time with my family later. I'll call my friend tomorrow. I'll live my dreams someday. But what if someday never comes? Life is always moving and it doesn't wait for us. The cruel beauty of it. It's scary, isn't it? How we spend years building careers, buying things, chasing status, and yet all of it can disappear in a moment. A car accident, an illness, a betrayal, and the life you knew is gone. You're left standing there, wondering what really mattered. That's why people who faced loss often see life differently. They stop clinging to things, and they start valuing moments. Deep down, they know nothing belongs to us forever, not our youth, not our strength, not even the people we love. And maybe that's what makes every second so priceless. So true. Like when we were kids, we never realized those little days, playing outside, eating with family, laughing for no reason. Those were golden moments. But we only understand their value once they're gone. Impermanence makes everything precious, but we realize it too late. 60 life is self-discovery. You know what's strange? We spend years studying the world, math, science, history, technology, but hardly anyone teaches us how to study ourselves. That's true. We know the names of stars, we know how machines work, we even know the stories of strangers online, but when someone asks, "Who are you?" most of us don't even know what to say. Exactly. We wear labels, our job title, our degrees, the money we have, the clothes we wear. But those aren't who we really are. That's just a mask. The real question is, when all of that is stripped away, what's left? Do you even know yourself without your roles? You know. I once read that the scariest prison is the one where you don't know yourself, because then you live your whole life chasing other people's dreams, other people's approval. And when you're finally alone with yourself, you realize you don't even recognize the person in the mirror. Yeah, that's why people feel so lost. Think life is about becoming someone else, like the successful businessman, or the perfect parent, or the ideal partner. But life is actually about peeling away all those layers and finally meeting yourself. It's like, imagine carrying a box all your life, thinking it's full of treasures. But when you finally open it, you see it's empty. That's what it feels like to chase everything outside but ignore the journey inside. You reach the top and still feel hollow. And maybe that's why silence scares people. They can't sit quietly without music, without scrolling, without distractions. Because the moment everything goes silent, they hear their own voice, and it's a stranger to them. Powerful. So maybe real life begins when we stop running away from ourselves. When we sit, listen, and finally ask, who am I without the world's noise? That's the discovery most people never make. Though 7A life is service. You know what I've noticed. Whenever life feels empty, it's usually because we're only living for ourselves. Himam, what do you mean? Think about it. Most of the time, we're obsessed with me, my success, my comfort, my dreams. And the more we get, the more restless we feel. But the moment you shift the focus from yourself to others, something changes inside. It's like your heart breathes again. Yeah, I felt that. Remember when we volunteered at that orphanage? We didn't earn a single dollar from it, but the way those kids smiled, man, it felt richer than any paycheck. For the first time in a long time, I actually felt alive. Exactly! Because that's the secret. It was never about how much you take. It was about how much you give. You can pile up wealth, build a name, get applause. But deep down, your soul only feels full when it knows it mattered to someone else. It's crazy though. Society teaches us the opposite. Win at all costs. Focus on yourself. Don't get used. And so, people climb ladders alone, only to find out the top is empty. But when you spend your energy lifting someone else up, suddenly, your own life feels lighter. I think that's why parents sacrifice so much for their kids. They may not always say it. The joy on their child's face gives them a satisfaction no luxury can buy. That's service in its purest form, love without expecting anything back. Yes, and maybe that's the test of life. Not how much you achieve for yourself, but how much you gave, how many lives you touched. Because at the end, nobody remembers your bank account. They remember how you made them feel. 8. Balance. You know what I think destroys people the most? It's not failure, it's imbalance. Imbalance. How so? Look around. Some people work day and night chasing success, but their health is collapsing. Others give everything to their family, but inside they're empty because they've forgotten themselves. Some love so deeply that they lose their own identity. And then there are those who only love themselves and end up alone. Life was never meant to be lived in extremes. It needs balance. Yeah, I get that. Remember that guy we knew who built a whole empire? Money, power, influence, he had it all. But he was always tired, always stressed. Kids barely knew him, his health was ruined, and in the end, he didn't even enjoy what he built. What's the point of winning the world if you lose yourself in the process? Exactly. And on the other side, think about people who give everything away, time, energy, emotions, to everyone else. They keep pouring into others, but nobody pours back into them. One day, they collapse, empty, because they forgot they're human too. Balance isn't selfish, it's survival. So true. Even with spirituality, some people go so deep into it that they disconnect from reality, forgetting responsibilities, family, work. And then some people go the opposite way. so stuck in the material world that they forget their soul. Both paths leave you broken. Balance is walking the middle line where body, mind, and soul all get their share. Yeah, and the saddest thing is, imbalance feels normal at first. Skipping meals to finish work, ignoring relationships for success, ignoring rest for money. It feels like sacrifice, but slowly eats away at you. Until one day you look back and realize you were living tilted, and that tilt cost you your peace. 9 life is presence. You know what's crazy? Most people aren't really living in the present. They're either stuck in the past or lost in the future. Yeah. Some people keep replaying old mistakes, old heartbreaks, old memories. And others, they're always waiting for tomorrow. One day I'll be happy. One day I'll rest. One day I'll live. And while they're waiting, life just slips away. Exactly. It's like holding a book in your hands, but never reading the page you're on. You keep flipping back to old chapters or rushing ahead to the ending, but you miss the beauty of the words right in front of you. That's how people live. They miss today because they're trapped in yesterday or tomorrow. I used to do that, regretting the past, thinking about what I should have done differently, or stressing about the future. What if this goes wrong? What if I fail? But the truth is, most of the pain wasn't even real. It was just my mind dragging me everywhere except now. And that's the irony. The only time we actually have is this moment. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, not someday. Just right now. But people don't realize it until it's too late. They're too busy recording memories for social media instead of living them. Too busy planning for happiness instead of feeling it. Exactly. Remember that time we were watching the sunset and everyone around us was busy taking pictures? No one actually looked at the sky with their own eyes. They were there, but not present. And that's the tragedy. We're everywhere except where life is happening. The Shmem, presence is powerful, man. When you truly sit with yourself, when you breathe and notice the air, when you listen to someone without distraction, that's when life feels real. Otherwise, we're just ghosts passing through time, never actually touching it. Antone, life is gratitude. You know what I've realized? Most of us are blind to the blessings we already have. Seem true? We keep complaining about what's missing, what's broken, what's not enough. But if we really stopped and looked, we'd see how much we already have. Exactly. Think about it, the fact that we can breathe right now, without machines, without hospitals. That's a blessing. The fact that we can walk, talk, laugh, cry. There are millions of people praying just for that. But we take it for granted. Yeah, it's crazy. I remember once when I was sick, I couldn't even get out of bed. In that moment, I didn't care about money, about work, about anything. All I wanted was health. And yet when I'm healthy, I never even thank life for it. That's the thing. Gratitude doesn't change what we have. It changes how we see it. A poor man with gratitude can feel richer than a millionaire. And a rich man without gratitude can feel empty no matter how much he owns. It's like we're always chasing bigger things, bigger house, bigger car, bigger name. But when we finally get them, the happiness fades so quickly because we forget to appreciate the little things. The morning breeze, the smile of a loved one, the food on our table. Those are the real treasures. Exactly. And maybe that's why people who have less often seem happier. They don't wait for something grand. They celebrate the little they have. But us, we keep waiting for something big to be thankful for. And in the process, we miss the small miracles happening every single day. Yeah. And you know what's sad? We usually realize the value of things only when they're gone. A parent, a friend, our health, even simple moments, once they slip away, we finally understand they were priceless. But by then, it's too late. You know, after all we've talked about, one thing I want to remind you. Yeah, what's that? Life isn't about surviving, chasing, or waiting for the perfect moment. Life is about living fully, feeling deeply, connecting with people, growing through struggles, and appreciating what you already have. Don't forget that. That makes sense. So what can I do right now? What's one small step? Start with something simple. Just pause for a moment, breathe, look around you. Appreciate one thing, your health, a friend, a family member, or even this very moment. That little act of noticing, it's the beginning of truly living. Yeah, I can do that. And maybe tomorrow, I'll notice 2 things and then 3. Slowly, life becomes richer. Exactly. And remember, no matter how lost or broken you feel, life always gives you another chance to start fresh, to connect, to grow, to love, to be grateful. There's always hope, and there's always a way to make today meaningful. Every moment can become a new beginning if you choose to see it that way. And if you want more guidance, motivation, and reminders to live your best life, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We share stories, tips, and reflections that help you make every moment count.